What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Phoenix here, and welcome back to a brand new Marvel Spider-Man 2 informational video. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing something along the lines of what happened over the course of potentially 3 hours ago. This just broke, and this is something that just happened randomly. But anyways, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that like button down below. Hit that subscribe button as well. Join the 88% of people that are not subscribed. And if you guys are excited for more Marvel Spider-Man 2 content, if you guys like it, I hope you guys enjoy your time over here. But let's go ahead and get into this quote-unquote leak real quick. Okay, so obviously this is coming from comicbook.com, and this also recently had happened over on 4chan. But it says right here, a new Marvel Spider-Man 2 rumor, despite coming from a dubious source, has been making the rounds, and if it's accurate, it reveals some major story details about the sequel. We still know next to nothing about the Spider-Man sequel, despite it being revealed a few years ago, and despite it supposedly aiming to release in September, which we all know it's going to be releasing in September. There's no doubt about it. But it goes on to say, when this will change remains to be seen. The longer the drought of information continues, the more rumors about the game surface. And obviously, this leak that we're going to be talking about is coming from 4chan. So everything take with a grain of salt, because it might go into spoilers for the story. So I don't know anything about the story. We obviously don't know anything about what the story entails. So it says the latest comes from 4chan and claims to have the scoop on the game story, which means beware, as there are spoilers ahead. Now, whenever there are spoilers ahead, if you guys want, you guys can click off the video right now. So obviously, if you guys don't want to listen to spoilers, I don't even know the spoilers, so I'm taking it with a huge grain of salt. But it says right here, according to the rumor, the game begins with Peter and Miles trying to hunt down a serial killer on the loose. The catch is that Yuri from the first game is the serial killer and is killing bad guys in the name of justice. It's during these missions that a tension between Peter and Miles is supposedly established, as Peter tells Miles to leave him, given the dangerous nature of the investigation. This apparently foreshadows a struggle between the two later in the game. Now, obviously, I feel as if, seeing as that Yuri is now confirmed to be the game, aka if you guys didn't play the City Never Sleeps DLC, in Turf Wars, Yuri becomes Wraith. So this is a rumor, but at the same time, we expected that we were going to get some sort of information on Yuri in the game. So as you guys know, at the end of Turf Wars DLC, if you guys didn't play the mission where you're going around trying to find those voice recordings, and you meet up with Yuri, there is a guy, once you get to the final one, there's a guy that's just strung up, and he's essentially dead. And over the voice line, I will play it right now. If you guys haven't played it already, I will play it right now. And it says,
Yuri, I know what you're gonna say, but just hear me out. The system works most of the time, but there are times when it doesn't. And to me, that's unacceptable. Some people put their trust in fate, or karma, or whatever. But I can only trust me.
You can't kill people, Yuri.
Apparently I can. And you know what? It felt good.
You need to turn yourself in.
For what? I just dispensed justice. True justice. And I restored a little bit of balance to the world.
You're my friend, Yuri. I don't want to come after you.
You do what you have to do, and I'll do what I have to do. Goodbye, Spider-Man.
if you guys don't know, this is obviously signaling the fact that Yuri Watanabe is still going to be around, because they still have Spider-Man and Yuri still have some sort of friendship that they're going to do. And on top of that, Wraith is now an anti-hero as well, so that's going to be amazing. But it goes on into this article and continues to say, the rumor continues, claiming Peter gets the symbiote early in the game when Harry comes home from Europe, after it sneaks into MJ's purse and then onto Peter later, not long after getting his black suit powers. Peter defeats Yuri, with the help of Miles, ending the first act of the game. Now, if this leak is true and I somehow in some way didn't think of this, then there is a huge chance that instead of it, him and Harry shaking hands and meeting each other for the first time, then that means that the symbiote is potentially going to sneak into MJ's purse. Now, let me know what you guys think about that as well, because like I don't really understand how it's going to go into her purse. And on top of that, not to mention, at this point in the game, we now know for a fact that MJ and Peter know about Harry. But my question here is, how is Harry going to act towards MJ? How is he going to know that Peter is the right host? How is that going to work? How's the symbiote going to know? But that's all I gotta say. And after that, it goes down deeper into delves deeper and says the next act begins with Osborn hiring Kraven to kill Peter and Miles, as he's worried about Peter's new powers and Miles' electric power as well. Things don't go well for Kraven, who quickly turns to brutal tactics, going rogue in the process before being defeated. After defeating Kraven, Miles and Peter go to the classic bell tower to rid the suit, and during this, Kraven escapes. So obviously through here, that means that obviously Osborn hired Kraven to kill Peter and Miles. My guess is for the fact, now this one right here is really interesting to me because we do not have any sort of information on Green Goblin, because in the process, I feel as if this one is completely wrong. And for Norman Osborn to become Green Goblin, we need to see Harry die. Like, that's the way that has to go. Norman's gonna have to put 2 and 2 together to figure out who Harry is, or not Harry, Peter is. But along with that, it does say that after defeating Kraven in the process, Miles and Peter head over to the classic bell tower to rid the suit. During that, Kraven escapes. Now, obviously, during this, we already know Kraven can go rogue at any time. As you guys know, he's been paid in the past, and he went rogue anyways. Now, through this, as you guys know, the symbiote has multiple weaknesses: fire, electricity, and sound. Obviously, they're using sound here to get rid of the symbiote, so that's obviously a clear sign if they are going to use it. But it says right here in this, the suit bonds with Eddie Brock, continues the rumor. Eddie is a reoccurring playable character in the game with MJ-like sections without stealth and more action and puzzles and photography stuff. Now, obviously, with this, we already know for a fact, like, there's no Eddie. So if Eddie is confirmed, then that means that the Daily Globe is also going to be confirmed. Because as you guys know, he works for the Daily Bugle, but at some point goes over to work at the Daily Globe. I'm pretty sure. But that's the only thing. That's probably, if not the only thing, because at this point we don't know if Eddie exists. Like, we don't know if Eddie exists in Insomniac's universe, because they wanted to have Harry have the suit. They wanted to have Harry have the black suit. Well, not the black suit. They wanted Harry to have the symbiote on him, which I feel like is probably going to be the main kicker right here, because Eddie Brock doesn't. I know that he does. And this is my question. Let me know down below, because I feel like Eddie does not exist in the Insomniac's universe, because Insomniac did confirm that they obviously want Harry to be in the symbiote. Now, they could pull a trick like they did in 2018 by letting us think that Mr. Negative was the main villain and did a huge plot twist in terms of it was Dr. Octopus. Now, it goes deep into this article that apparently during one of these sections of the game, Black Suit Spider-Man gets into a fight with Eddie and messes him up, which in turn makes Eddie hate Peter, and who also has bad history with. That said, Kraven begins to hunt Venom, thinking he's Spider-Man, which leads Venom killing Kraven and eating his head. Now, obviously, you guys already know this story is going to be a dark story that has a terrible path. Now, do I see Venom eating Kraven at all? No, not at all. But for the fact that they did lead on to the fact that they said Eddie hates Peter, that's obviously some sort of history right there, because as we all know, Eddie hates Peter, and obviously there's like a lot of beef that goes on with there, because obviously Peter and Harry had a friendship at one point, As you guys don't know, in Spectacular Spider-Man, both their parents died in a plane crash. And Eddie and Peter became friends through that. Now, they bonded, yes. Did they go to Empire State University together? Yes. Now, with this, I do feel as if since at some point Eddie is going to figure out that Peter is Spider-Man at some point or another, we still need Harry to be Venom at this point in time. But it goes deeper in this and it says somehow Venom eventually kidnaps Mary Jane, obviously linking towards the Spider-Man 3 reference, and forcing Peter and Miles to rescue her. During this, Osborn gaslights Harry into becoming Green Goblin. The former defeat the latter and turn them good, and all four go after Osborn. At this point in the game, right at the end, Osborn kills his own son with an advanced Green Goblin suit and forces the symbiote off of Eddie. I somewhat do not believe this because the only way for the symbiote to get off of Eddie is for the fact, obviously, I feel like in the game, and this, keep in mind, this is with a grain of salt, I feel like as if Eddie's not going to want to take it off because we all know for a fact that in Spider-Man 3, he did not want to take it off. But Eddie getting introduced when Harry is clearly the host of the symbiote as of right now, I feel like as if that would not happen. I honestly feel like as if that would not happen. But it says in this fight, it says Osborn kills his own son with a better goblin suit and also forces the symbiote off of Eddie. The symbiote is like a container and it falls off of a roof and Eddie dives after it and they look over the edge. Neither is to be seen, claims the rumor. The game ends with Peter proposing to MJ and her accepting. Now, obviously, I do feel as if that's going to happen. But at the same time, though, we have to think because since everything else is involved, and also since Osborn is going to quote unquote end up killing Harry, that wouldn't make sense because we still need the kicker for Norman to become Goblin. We need a kicker for him to become the Goblin. But other than that, it says the rumor rounds out by mentioning that Mysterio, Sandman, Big Will, Shocker, Past Pop Pete, and Screwball are all side villains in the game. Now, you guys already know how I feel about the Screwball missions. Like, we all know how we feel about Screwball missions. She's annoying. Like, I don't have a problem with her, but like, she's annoying. But it says, meanwhile, Doc Ock is also in the game, but only via an audio log cameo. A post-credit scene involving the multiverse breaking open cause of the Spider-Verse events, and a version of Spider-Gwen comes out of the portal confused. It is also mentioned, lastly, while the rumor confirms you play as Eddie in the game, this does not translate to playing as Venom. Now, obviously, I don't believe that, first of all, Spider-Verse and Marvel Spider-Man are not connected together, but playing as Eddie in the game and having Doc in there as an audio log cameo, whereas Eddie is going to be in the game, we already know for a fact that there's not a lot of sense right there because of the fact like Insomniac hasn't confirmed that Eddie Brock exists in their universe. But hopefully someone can let me know. Hopefully you guys can let me know down in the comments below. But as I remember, I do feel as if for Norman Osborn to become the Goblin, Harry is still going to that. I'm still going with that statement. So let me know what you guys feel about that down below. And it's been your boy Phoenix. And I'll see you guys later with another Spidey Webtastic banger.